Samsung played it cautious, even though it aimed high with battery capacity. With the 5000 mAh felt huge of the S20 Ultra in 2020, aspirations for 6000 mAh plus in next Ultra models are high. But rather than larger batteries, Samsung concentrated on efficiency advancements, maintaining capacity while rivals drove higher. According to Alika Djukanosrive, who says Samsung is looking at introducing silicon-carbon batteries with its future Galaxy S series phones. Apparently, it may include a Galaxy S26 series 6000 mAh battery. For Galaxy lovers who have been waiting for Samsung to release high-capacity batteries, this is great news. The Galaxy S25 Ultra maintains its 5000 mAh capacity, same as the S20 Ultra 5 years ago. The base S25 stays at 4000 mAh, while the S25 Plus has 4900 mAh. Launching in March-April, the S25 Edge is projected to have just 3900 mAh, the smallest battery in the range. Many rivals, on the other hand, have been pushing battery boundaries. OnePlus, Vivo, Oppo, Realme, and Honor have already unveiled silicon-carbon innovation and are regularly testing greater capacity. Yet Samsung seems unwilling to make any substantial changes, adhering to the formula that has worked for them thus far. But that's not to suggest changes aren't coming. Samsung's long-term plan still incorporates bigger batteries, and 2026 might ultimately be the year that we see major improvements. Reports say that the Galaxy S26 series could finally integrate silicon-carbon batteries, enabling for a monster battery at 6000 mAh to 7000 mAh. A Samsung expert indicated that while silicon anode technology enhances battery capacity, it also has longevity concerns, which need resolving. That's why Samsung omitted it for the S25 series, despite anticipation. However, research is ongoing, and if advances happen, the S26 range could eventually include silicon-carbon batteries. If that happens, we could be looking at 5000 mAh for the original S26, 6000 mAh for the S26 Plus and S26 Ultra, and roughly 4500 mAh for the S26 Edge. That would signal the first substantial battery upgrade in years, breaking the trend of small modifications. Silicon-carbon batteries have a higher silicon content in the anode, enhancing energy density while maintaining the same physical size. This offers bigger capacities without increasing bulk. However, silicon swells during charging, creating faster wear, which is why Samsung is still working on improvements. While for charging speed, Samsung has been locked at 45 watt since the S22 series, even while competitors push 100 watt plus charging. A larger battery, 6000 mAh plus in the S26 Ultra, will likely require higher watts to maintain fast charging times. If silicon-carbon technology progresses, we could see a charging speed boost too. For now though, the S25 lineup feels like more of the same. While efficiency advancements from One UI 7 and newer chipsets should benefit battery life, there's no denying that Samsung is playing it safe yet again. Whether it changes next year remains to be seen. It is typical procedure for larger smartphone makers like Samsung and Apple to test out numerous prototypes of their next flagship series before determining which variation goes to the mass manufacturing line. However, on this occasion, the S25 Ultra is still to be officially introduced in various territories, and the out-of-the-blue report suggests that the Korean giant is already testing a prototype of the Galaxy S26 Ultra that does not have any visible camera. This would suggest that Samsung is seeking to give a full-screen experience without any cuts, much like what Apple is believed to be doing. The rumor was posted by ex-user crow_row, albeit it is odd that no mention of under-display technology was made in the message. Then again, it is not like Samsung does not have experience in this area because the company's current generation folding flagship, the Z Fold 6, boasts a 4 megapixels under-display sensor that pops out when you may capture an image or video from it. The major limitation of implementing this technology in other gadgets is the reduction in quality. A variety of comparisons demonstrates that although this technology is fascinating, it should not be deployed as a cool factor while offering inferior imaging results. Even Apple has been said to be testing out this technology on several occasions, but it failed to launch in any iPhone lineup, possibly due to the same reasons. We should also emphasize that Samsung undoubtedly has a conventional prototype of the S26 Ultra accessible for testing, and for the most part, we feel that this version will end up on the mass production line due to the fewer issues that come with creating such a smartphone. Also, Samsung is one of those corporations that rarely wants to be the first to offer fresh technology and waits for mass adoption before switching to something new to help with cost reduction, though this was not always the case. One example is how Samsung's 200 megapixels ISOCELL HP9 is not used in the S25 Ultra, but is sold to other smartphone manufacturers. Since there are not a whole lot of updates accessible at this time, we urge you to accept this information with a pinch of salt. However, one controversial modification has left supporters disappointed: the elimination of Bluetooth connectivity from the S Pen. The lack of Bluetooth functionality means that the S Pen no longer offers Air Actions, which allowed users to 1. Remotely operate the camera. 2. Navigate presentations and apps. 3. Manage media playback with gestures. The elimination of these functions has prompted resentment among committed Note and Ultra series owners, prompting to a petition requesting that Samsung restore Bluetooth functionality in next year's S26 Ultra. Petition demands for Bluetooth S Pen comeback. Tech critic Jeff Springer launched a petition, encouraging Samsung to listen to its consumer base. The petition has already gathered over 600 signatures, with people expressing dissatisfaction over Samsung's choice. As a show of commitment to cutting-edge innovation and customer satisfaction, we collectively ask Samsung to bring back the Bluetooth S Pen for the Galaxy S26 Ultra launch in 2026. The petition adds, "Why did Samsung delete Bluetooth?" Samsung has yet to formally comment on the decision, although speculation suggests power efficiency. Removing Bluetooth may assist minimize battery use. Durability improvements. A simpler S Pen could be more dependable over time. Cost-cutting. Bluetooth requires additional components, a rechargeable battery, and a charging coil. However, users believe that pricing $1,299 for a premium flagship while deleting critical functionality is an unjust trade-off. The S Pen now feels more like a basic stylus rather than a productivity tool. While Samsung has a history of responding to user concerns, the S25 Ultra is currently in production, making a rapid reversal improbable. For now, those who rely on Bluetooth capability will need to adapt or wait to see if Samsung reinstates the feature in the S26 Ultra next year. Now the big question is, will the S26 explode its autonomy thanks to this drastic change? Or will Samsung finally take a decisive step toward the autonomy of its devices with the Galaxy S26? Available for a few days, the Galaxy S25s are evidently no longer of interest to speculations. The place is left to the S26, whose batteries we are talking about today. These might no longer be lithium-ion, but carbon silicon, the current fad of Asian manufacturers since 2024, and which provides a boost to autonomy without taxing your brains too much. As a reminder, this technology permits more energy to be stored in a given volume. This leads to 1. Extended device autonomy. 2. The ability to lower battery size while retaining performance. Samsung has wisely avoided rushing into the option of carbon silicon batteries that are invading Chinese terminals. The official version indicates that Samsung has found difficulties with the lifespan of this type of battery and wants to overcome them before using it. Cautious, Samsung has once again stuck to vintage batteries for its S25. But as early as 2026, things might change, claims the Korean media FN News. If this is the case, we may have a range outfitted like this. 1. 5,000 milliamps for the base S26. 2. 6,000 milliamps for the S26 Plus and S26 Ultra. 3. Around 4,500 milliamps for the S26 Edge. Although they use lithium-ion batteries, our tests reveal that the S25s last virtually as long as devices with carbon silicon, such as the OnePlus 13. How the hell is that? Well, battery life isn't just about technology. Software optimization and internal components are the key to success. Samsung has a pretty good match of its parts here. As for its Chinese competition, we can extrapolate by assuming that they don't optimize their technology too much and opt for a higher capacity to assure good battery life. a bit like the pattern between a poorly integrated Snapdragon 8 Elite and the Tensor G5 of a Pixel 9 that has been harmonized to perfection with the rest of its components. In short, the news of the day remains that Samsung could potentially cross the threshold of the carbon silicon battery as early as next year on the S26. Following what we have just discussed about it, it should be able to offer us a big improvement in autonomy on these models. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.